We are officially 2 days away from the looming US TikTok ban, and some people are still unclear about the reasons behind this drastic action from the US government. If you're one of those people, then stick around and find out, because I am about to break it down for you, starting with the history of TikTok. In 2014, Chinese tech entrepreneurs Alex Chu and Lu Yang launched Musical.ly. Most of you might remember the app and that era of social media. But interestingly enough, Musical.ly was not always Musical.ly. What I mean by this is that Alex and Lu Yu developed the platform based off of their passion for education. So the initial idea behind the platform was to revolutionize education by creating a space that would allow creators who had something to teach to create short-form educational videos. The videos would be 3 to 5 minutes long. They raised capital for this venture and spent 6 months developing it and named the app Cicada or Cicada. I'm really not sure on the pronunciation of this. Please do correct me in the comments. But the app was not a success and actually failed from its launch. And there were a number of reasons for this. For starters, it failed to attract teenagers, which is bad because this was their target market. The founders also found that creators were finding it too hard to condense long educational teachings into 3 to 5 minute videos. Additionally, it took far too long to create the content. So what now? Alex and Lu Yu had to think of their next step and had to do it pronto because they had taken a lot of money from investors and could not afford to lose it. So they went back to the drawing board and restudied their target audience. They carefully observed how teenagers used social media at the time. Then it hit them. How about we create an app that combines video, music, and social networking? It took them 30 days to develop this idea into what the world would come to know as Musical.ly. The app became a success, with users enjoying the 15-second videos that they could create as creators or consume as content consumers. By July 2015, so about a little over a year after being launched, Musical.ly was number 1 on the iTunes App Store. With this ranking, it actually made history as the first Chinese app that is headquartered and designed in China to gain such popularity in the US. But even though it gained all of this attention and fame, the reality behind the scenes was that the company was not growing at a fast enough rate. They also found themselves having to deal with the blows of regulatory issues, tough competition, and the lack of effective ways to monetize the app. Essentially, the company faced too many issues that hindered them from maintaining the success that they had raked up. This is where ByteDance enters the scene. ByteDance is a Chinese internet tech company headquartered in China and founded in March 2012. They are a global tech giant that incubates content, entertainment, and commerce-based platforms, some of which you may be familiar with, such as CapCut, Douyin, which is the Chinese version of TikTok, and the US government-hated TikTok itself. So this company is a big deal. In November 2017, they acquired Musical.ly. And bear in mind that at this point, TikTok, which as I've mentioned is a product of ByteDance, had already been launched outside of mainland China around May 2017 and was gaining popularity. In 2018, ByteDance made a strategic move to merge TikTok and Musical.ly. TikTok's success became massive, and it is massive. It expanded its international horizons and found popularity in countries such as Europe, India, and the US. Its growth became unstoppable, and quite quickly, it became the Candyland for content creators and content consumers. Today, over 1 billion users worldwide use TikTok. I am one of them, and I know that you are one of them too. And I also know that 170 million US users are part of that billion. TikTok is quite literally giving their competitors a hard time with its success. However, with this great success came great challenges. You see, TikTok faced and continues to face a lot of pushback from its competitors, but also from the government of different countries. It appears that the most cited reasons for this is privacy concerns. But let's focus on the US, because the looming US ban is currently the biggest news involving TikTok right now. For years, the US government has expressed its concerns over potential privacy threats that TikTok and its parent company ByteDance potentially poses to US users. How? Well, through providing sensitive user information to the Chinese government, allegedly. So the US government accuses ByteDance of having close ties to the Chinese government, and therefore they are a national security threat. In March 2023, the CEO of TikTok, Shou-Zi Chew, who American TikTokers seem to love, by the way, appeared before the House Energy and Commerce Committee to testify on the subject of safety and security regarding the app. This hearing took 5 hours. He was asked about the Chinese government's involvement with TikTok, data privacy, and he was also asked about misinformation. He was even asked suspicious questions about his nationality and his marriage. In some of his answers, you can clearly tell that he is seriously questioning the intelligence of some of the lawmakers who were questioning him. Please take a look at this.
As you often say that you live in Singapore, of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two and a half years in Singapore.
Do you have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen, your children are American citizens.
That's correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm
Okay.
Singaporean.
Let me ask you some hopeful.
Well, then why don't you let your 8-year-old child on TikTok?
I have seen these news articles. I would like to address that. My kids live in Singapore, and in Singapore, we do not have the under 13 experience. If they lived here in the United States, I'll let them use the under 13 experience.
Okay, so you're saying it's because of the country you live in doesn't have the same mechanisms. Is there a reason you don't have those same mechanisms everywhere?
In principle, we want to provide, a good experience for our users in general. We don't want to monetize from people who are under 13. In the US, we are COPPA compliant, and as part of that, we were deemed as I want to get these specifics right. We were deemed as a particular type of audience, mixed audience app. I want to make sure that that's right. You may have to give me more details.
Christina Kafara was a paid advisor to ByteDance, your communist-influenced parent company. She was then hired by the Biden FTC to advise on how to sue Mr. Zuckerberg's company.
Senator, ByteDance is a global company and not a Chinese communist company. It's owned by global investors.
Public reports indicate that your lobbyist visited the White House more than 40 times in 2022. How many times did your company's lobbyist visit the White House last year?
I don't know that, Senator.
Are you aware that the Biden campaign and the Democratic National Committee is on your platform? They have TikTok accounts?
Senator, we encourage people to come on
Which,
to create
by the way,
organic, authentic content.
they won't let their staffers use their personal phones. They give them separate phones that they only use TikTok on.
We encourage everyone to join, including yourself, Senator.
So all these companies are being sued by the FTC. You're not. The FTC has a former paid advisor, your parent, talking about how they can sue Mr. Zuckerberg's company. Joe Biden's reelection campaign and the Democratic National Committee is on your platform. Let me ask you, have you or anyone else at TikTok communicated with or coordinated with the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, or the Democratic National Committee to influence the flow of information on your platform?
We work with any creators who want to use our campaign. It's all the same process that we have.
So what we have here, we have a company that's a tool of the Chinese Communist Party that is poisoning the minds of America's children, in some cases driving them to suicide, and that at best the Biden administration is taking a pass on, at worst maybe in collaboration with. Thank you, Mr. Chew.
The committee chair, Kathy McMorris Rogers, even had this to say. To the American people watching today, hear this. TikTok is a weapon by the Chinese Communist Party to spy on you and manipulate what you see and exploit for future generations. Now, fast forward to April 2024 and the ban. This is when the US Congress passed the bill that was signed by about to be former President Joe Biden, basically giving TikTok an ultimatum. TikTok could either sell its US operations to a US buyer or investor, or face the consequence of being banned in the US. The bill gave TikTok 9 months to make the decision. I think the US government really and truly believed that TikTok would fold. What is happening now with American TikTok users rebelling by joining Xiaohong Shu was definitely not on their bingo card. It is now Friday. The ban is supposed to take place on Sunday, 19 January. And let me tell you, TikTok is standing 10 toes down on business and is not folding. I should, however, mention that yes, the bill was signed into law under the Biden administration. But since then, America has experienced a change in government. Donald Trump will be assuming the office of the presidency from Monday, 20 January, which is a day after the ban. And he has reportedly asked Congress for an extension on the ban to see if another solution cannot be reached. So we will just have to wait and see. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and also please let me know what you would like to see. Don't forget to engage in the comments and to like this video. I'll see you in the next video.